Hi everyone, so today I'm going to show you how to make this bracelet, and this is designed by Loomnerd. It currently does not have a name, so I'll put it on the screen, but this has a really cool look to it, and it's based off of the Swiss braid by M's Loom Creations. Make sure to check out that design, and if you want to know how to make this bracelet, then just keep watching this video, of course, and without further ado, let's just get started. The supplies we'll be needing for this bracelet are any type of loom, and you only need 2 pin bars, a hook. This doesn't have too much tension, but I still recommend using a metal tipped hook. And you'll also need bands. I'll be using the dual layered opaque Blue Lagoon, white, and Solar Venus bands. And you'll also need a C-clip or S-clip. And once you have all these supplies, we can begin making the bracelet. I'm going to begin with my arms pointing away from me, and I'm just going to take my white and do a simple single chain. I'll just continue with a zigzag exactly like in a single chain bracelet. And in the end, this will kind of end up being the border, but on one side it is in the middle, as you saw in the beginning. And sorry if my nails look really bad, but I'm going to try to be a little more casual in my videos because I don't like my personality on YouTube. I mean, I'm just not that formal in real life, so. I'm not going to go to the very end, I'm going to stop here. Just like that. And then I'm going back to the bottom. So next I'm going to add the cat bands, and I'll just be using my Blue Lagoon and Solar Venus bands. And I'm going to be doing cat bands every other peg, skipping the first pin in the middle. So I'm taking my Blue Lagoon and just wrapping it around the first pin on the right once to create 2 loops. It's kind of hard to do this on camera. Like that, so just a simple cat bands. And I'm going to do it on the second peg on the middle. And it doesn't really matter how I make cat bands as long as it is a cat band. And then I'm going to skip these pegs right here and go to the third peg on the right and make a cat band again, and the fourth peg on the middle. So you're just making cat bands and skipping the peg. And I'm going to skip these 2 and make 2 more cat bands. And if it comes undone, then that is okay. You can just fix that. So hopefully the pattern makes sense, and I'm just going to continue making my cat bands on every other peg. So now you should have this, and it's a total of 12 cat bands. And now I'm going to go back to the bottom, and I'll be using my Solar Moon bands for this. And they look kind of pink in this light. I'm not really sure why. So I'm just going to start, and this will overlap the white bands. But first I'm going to just go up the middle pin bar all the way up until I reach the top. And originally I was going to use white, but I thought it might be easier when I have different colors during the hooking process, so that's why I just added that in during the supplies part and didn't actually show the bands. Just like that, up to the very top, and I used the wrong band. And then I'm going to the bottom, and I'm going out to the right, and then up the right pin bar. But I'm not going to go to the very top. I'm going to stop a pin short. And make sure you're going on top of your cat bands. You don't want to go under like that. If you have to push them down, then that's fine. And sorry if I'm going kind of fast. I'm stopping here, and then I'm going to just connect it like that. And now this is what my loom looks like. You can see on the side. And now I'm going to turn my loom around and take another solar moon band and make a cat band on the middle pin. And now I'm going to start the hooking process. So grab your hook, go inside the cat band, and the band on top should be going to the left, so I'm going to loop it like that. And then this hooking process is kind of like the Swiss braid. So I'm picking up the next band under my cat band, and instead of looping this forward, I'm going to loop it diagonally upward from that pin to the third pin on the left. So this is where it would go, diagonally upwards. And I'm going inside this pin, grabbing the top band. It should go here. I'm going to loop it to the third pin in the middle, diagonally upwards once again. Just going to keep doing this, so wherever the end is, you're going to go diagonally upwards. So hopefully that makes sense. You can just watch what I'm doing. And I'm going to do that until I reach the very top of my loom, and this is exactly like the Swiss braid by M's Loom Creations, if I didn't mention that in the beginning. And I just have to kind of turn my loom. Just ignore your cat bands. You don't want to go inside them or anything. Just make sure they stay on the pin right where they were. And this band right here, I'm just going to loop it to the last pin on the right. And then I'm going to go back to the bottom. So this is what it looks like, just like the Swiss braid. So if you're familiar with that bracelet, then that will be easier. Now I'm going to loop over the cat band. I'm going to just grab it, and don't go inside any bands. Grab it from the outside, and just bring it over the pin. And do the same thing, or over the peg. I don't really know why I call it a pin. And I'm doing the same, so grab the cat band from the outside. It's kind of hard to show from this angle. And loop it over towards the middle, right here. Going to my blue now. Just grab the cat band and loop it inside. And doing the same thing until I reach the top of my loom, just looping over all of the cat bands. And if you want to give this bracelet a different look, you could add cat bands and not skip any pins. I'm sorry, that was not even on camera. And sometimes they can be kind of hard to grab, but just try your best. You can also use your fingers, that can work sometimes. Okay, so now this is what my loom looks like. The same as before, but the cap bands are looped in towards the center. And I'm going back to the bottom, and now I'm going to loop the white bands. So go inside your cap band, grab the top white, or whatever color it is, and I'm going to loop this forward. So it's kind of loose, but just bring it to the second peg on the middle, or in the middle, and then I'm going to go through the bands on this peg, grab the bottom white, and loop it forward, and go inside this peg, bottom band, loop it forward. I'm just going to repeat that. So you're just going to go inside every peg and loop the bottom band upwards. Just ignore wherever it's supposed to go. And make sure you are grabbing the very bottom band. Sorry if I'm not explaining it that well. I am trying my best to go slowly and just explain what to do as best as I can. Now this may seem complicated, but it's not that hard once you actually try. And I grabbed the wrong bands. And once I get to the top, there are no more pegs above. So I have to grab the very bottom band here and loop it to the center. So now this is what my loom looks like. So it's like a Swiss braid on the inside with these borders. And the cap bands, of course. So now, push my band. I'm going to push my bands down on this pin and take everything off my loom except for this very top peg, because that's what's holding the bracelet together. And I will be back to show you how to make the extension. So this is what it looks like right off the loom, and this is not the signature side. It's the other side here. I'm going to just place some bands, and I'm just going to make an extension. Just a single chain. Inside all the bands on this peg and pulling a white band through everything. And then taking off, putting the band on the end of my single chain and looping it. And I haven't filmed a rainbow loom tutorial in like a week, which doesn't seem like a long time, but sometimes I just forget how to film. So sorry if I'm talking quietly or kind of mumbling, but sometimes I just forget that other people are actually going to be watching the video. so I just looped it up really quickly, and now I'm going to take my C-clip, pull it off, and I probably didn't need to make the extension this long, but now I'm going to attach it to my cat band, and then this is my finished bracelet. That's how you make this bracelet, and I think this looks really cool. It has this nice 3D look to it, and again, this is a variation of the Swiss braid by Loom Creations. I know the Catalina effect was also a variation, but I really like this bracelet anyway, and if you like it as well, then give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos. Again, this is the other side. This was designed by loomnerd on Instagram. I'll just bring up the profile. Really nice edits and bracelets. If you make it, tag us on Instagram and also use the hashtags loomnerd and iCrafts stuff. My account is currently on private and has a weird bio just because I want to protect from hackers, so don't mind that. That is basically it for this video, and I will just see you in my next tutorial.